I'm Alex from Grand Designs Live, and we're here at the show in Melbourne. But of course, the man you're all interested in is Kevin McCloud, the ubiquitous Kevin McCloud. You've come back to Australia again. Now, you're in Melbourne for the second time. Do you start to feel like a local now?
I've started to be quite rude about the town. Is that a sign of a local? I don't know.
so.
I got into a bit of hot water because I criticised the scheme for Flinders Station, but I mean, I do it with the utmost respect, always. You know, I always caveat my comments by saying, look, I'm not a local, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way. But anyway, I'm having a great time, thanks. I love Melbourne. Great city.
That's great to hear. Obviously, Melbourne loves having you here because we've got this amazing turnout.
Bless
and
you.
We've had to have this interview in a green room against a glamorous wall.
It's not a green
just so we
room,
can
it's
get
a black room.
Just so we can get a little bit of peace and quiet. Now, the last time you came to Melbourne, the football was on. You went along with Peter. Now, that's finished for the year. What are you doing to feel like a local Melburnian?
Oh, I'm really shocked because the Hawks, they won the semi-final that I saw last year.
Then they lost.
And then lost in the final. This year, of course, they won the final, but I missed that. Unfortunately, great match. Yeah, no, I like Australian football.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Now, you've struck up a bit of a friendship, a long-distance friendship. Obviously, you're probably Skyping Peter every second day. He's just walked in, by the way.
Peter Madison. Come and look into the camera,
afternoon,
Peter.
Alexander.
Hello, how are we going, Peter?
Hello.
We are
Very well.
actually we're two separate human beings doing two separate programs.
And if you bonded over the fact that you basically, one of your jobs each is the same, is that
Finish your
how you
lunch
bonded?
first. Finish your lunch.
This is a relaxed interview.
Very relaxed.
Very relaxed.
Have we bonded?
Have you bonded
Yeah.
over the fact that you're both the hosts? Is that how it's come about?
I think we bonded not because we're the host of the same program on different sides of the planet, but because we just got on. So,
Well, that's
fair to
handy.
say. Very,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
important.
Yes, it helps.
yeah, exactly.
In
sure.
fact, I think the show is sort of ancillary. The show's been sort of an entree card, isn't it?
Yes.
To get to know each other.
I think that's true. Yeah, Peter's come over and stayed with us in the UK for a weekend, and we went out partying. Peter took me out last night, partying.
And I'm a little bit apologetic where I took him. However,
No, it was good. It was a good
there's
evening.
a lot of drunk people.
Thanks
who,
very much, Lou and Tom. It was a lovely evening.
Yeah, thanks for having us, Lou. Sorry to mention the name, but no, it was a fun night, and it's great to, I think, when I went to your place, meet people that are from your area,
Yeah.
and it gets you out of this mad exhibition, media environment,
Yes, that is
and
true.
drops you
Yeah,
into
things
a
like this
little
that
bit of
we're forcing you
reality.
to do.
Yeah. Things like online interviews.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Peter's basically just nicked off again. Now, you recently went to Christchurch in between coming over on a long haul flight. You've come to Sydney on no sleep, and then for some reason you've decided to adjust time zone slightly again and go to Christchurch.
It's true. I came, flew into Sydney, and then 24 hours later, I thought I wasn't jet lagged enough, so I thought I got up at 4 a.m. to go to Christchurch, then got up at 2 a.m. to come back. So that made me feel a lot better. I mean, a lot worse. Yeah.
Well, Christchurch is a town that was obviously, a city rather, that was ravaged by earthquakes, but the way they've been handling it and innovating has been quite exciting. Now, what were you doing over there exactly?
So I went over partly to kind of just cheer them up a bit, and support them and demonstrate some support. I went over 2 years ago. I met the council, met lots of community groups, lots of activists, lots of artists working there, and I wanted to go back and see how things were. And in the between time, I've been judging a competition together with many other people, some architects, landscape architects, people from the city, to basically find a group of developers and architects to redesign the city centre. So we've got these winners, architectural practice from Italy, and they're going to, together with some landscape architects based in Italy, come in and work with local constructors to redesign a whole block of the city. And the idea is to reintroduce people back into the city centre. The central business district, which was purely business, is now going to be partly residential as well. So it's a kind of very exciting idea to remodel Christchurch as a sort of 21st century sustainable city where people live, work, play, and enjoy themselves in the heart of the city. Yeah,
Well, that's
really
fantastic.
important.
Well, it's wonderful what they're doing over there and that you could go and help out. Now, I just did have one kind of shop question. Now, if you had one building or design tip that could pretty much blanket be applied to everyone, do you have one? Because you probably asked this, I imagine.
Everyone, everywhere, always kind of thing.
Like a less is more, or...
The greatest tip. The greatest tip actually is to... It subverts the question, which is that all design, all architecture, all good design is not simply about people it's about place. So it will always be different wherever you are.
What an amazing answer.
Ish.
Now, we did ask a few people on Facebook.
Yes.
They could win a $750 Masters gift card by submitting a question. What would they ask you in 25 words or less? A few people said, I would ask for a hug, but I have to ask you that question, so it doesn't really work that well. So the one we've selected is, what would the world look like in 25 years' time, ideally, from your point of view?
It would look jumbled, mixed up. It would look. I'd like to see more people living in cities. I'd like to see families, old people. I'd like to see a whole range of opportunity offered to people. I'd like to see a more sustainable world where we use things efficiently, where we use our resources efficiently, where human beings, cycling, pedestrians, children are placed at the centre of our cities and our communities, where the car takes fifth place, not first place, and where not just houses, but the spaces between houses offer us a sense of space and ownership and enjoyment. And these are all things that in my own business, HAB, a construction business, we're working to try and achieve.
Okay.
So, not surprisingly, they're the things I want to see happen.
Oh, well, of course. Well, that would be nice. And congratulations on winning that gift card. We also had another question, though. Kind of wanted to choose the answer, but I thought we might have an uproar because it's so off topic. What's the biggest fish you've ever caught?
I've only caught one fish in my life. It was the first fish and the last fish. I was 8 years old. It was a perch. It was this big. It was a female. It was pregnant. I didn't like it.
There you go. I knew that was the interesting one. We had to get that one in.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, Kevin, and appreciate coming
Great
back to
stuff,
Australia
Alex.
again.
Good to see
Cheers.
you.
Thank
Okay.
you.